What a year 2025 has been, from having my very first baby that I totally didn't expect to happen to accomplishing some of my health goals that I've been putting off for a very long time. It's been a year, so I thought we could review 2025 and take a look at 2026. Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today with a New Year's planning video. It feels like 2025 flew by because I spent about half of it pregnant and then the other half being a mom. So wow, that really just makes time fly. It's absolutely wild. There are so many things. I feel like 2025 was actually the first decent year in a long time. There were some really good things that happened this year, and I wanted to reflect on that and appreciate it because for a long time it just felt like Zach and I were in survival mode, just trying to get through the next year. It just felt like there were so many outside negative things happening, and just my health and personal life stuff. And then we got the surprise of a lifetime in 2024, which obviously impacted 2025 in a huge way, and really the rest of our lives. And so it's got me thinking about 2026 and my hopes and plans for this year, including family planning, the hope for more children, finances a little bit, my health goals that still need to be continued through the year, as well as my hopes for my garden and for our house. There's a lot of exciting things that you can do and plan for. And I think that the winter time is a really good quiet time to look at those things. But also I know that there's a lot of pressure with that. There's a lot of pressure with the new year, this clean slate that you feel like you can't screw up. And then once you go off track, you feel like the rest of the year is ruined. That should not be the case, so we'll talk about that. But I do want to thank my sponsor of today's video, which is Element. I think this is my final sponsor with Element of the year. I love them. They are my favorite zero sugar electrolyte drink mix, and they come in these convenient packets in a number of different flavors. It has been my #1 way to stay hydrated and get rehydrated when I start to feel a little bit off, feel like I haven't been drinking as much. The electrolyte drink mixes that come in the packets have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 of potassium, and 60 of magnesium. I fill my water jug every single day and I stay on top of my hydration with Element. They're so tasty. They don't have any gluten. They're paleo friendly. They are sugar free, of course, I think I said that. Vegan friendly. No dodgy ingredients that you have to worry about. Just a really tasty way to rehydrate. And they also have sparkling waters. They are so delicious. Oh my gosh, they're great on the go. They have half the electrolytes that the packets do. They're good just grabbing it and going. I like to bring it to a lot of my doctor's appointments and have them on the way home. It's kind of like a treat for getting through whatever I had to just get through. I'm gonna have one now because they are freaking delicious. This is the, which one is this? The pineapple salt. Guys, you have to try it. They are so good. A lot of electrolyte drinks taste really salty or really sweet because they're trying to hide the salt that they have to put into it. Not this, not this. This is just a nice, refreshing drink. And you guys should stock up for the new year. You want to stay on top of hydration. That's one of my goals pretty much every year because who wants to feel terrible? And they are kindly offering a free sample pack with any order that you make on Element. So if you go to my link, drinkelement.com/LetsTalkIBD, that's DRINKELEMENT.com/LetsTalkIBD, you can get that free sample pack with any order. Thank you so much to Element for sponsoring this video and for these delicious guys. Alrighty, time to get into the video. Let's take a look at 2025 because, man, I feel like there's one giant thing that I can think of, my accomplishment, and that was giving birth to our first baby. When I reflect on that, I still can't believe how it all worked out. just the fact that I got pregnant on my own after 4 years of infertility, that was 2024 of course, but got pregnant on my own and just had a fairly uncomplicated pregnancy. I mean, with my ostomy bag and the Crohn's disease and everything that I have going on, I just always assumed that if I was ever able to have a baby, that it would be awful. Like the pregnancy would be terrible, the delivery would be awful, and that's not how it worked out. I have been so used to negativity when it comes to anything health related. Like I've never had any doctor's appointment where I don't leave and something was not wrong. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I'm so used to getting bad news at doctors. And being pregnant with Novi was the best I felt. Like of course there are a lot of uncomfortable points. I dealt with carpal tunnel syndrome and, you know, getting larger and larger was a little uncomfy. But now that I am not pregnant and I haven't been for 7 months, almost 8, I felt really good pregnant. And that is something to be so thankful for. And I, like, even just her delivery, that was the most normal health thing I've ever experienced. Just the fact that I went into labor on my own, my water broke at home, I didn't need an induction, even though we had one planned a few days later. I didn't make it there. I went into labor the day before her due date and delivered her, I think, 17 hours in to labor or something close to that. I'm not going to do the math now, but I think I went into labor, water broke around 5:30 in the morning, and I had her at 10:30 at night. Like, that's, wow. So, to think about that, I'm like, you know what? Your body can do things. That's incredible. So that gets me thinking about health stuff and family planning for 2026. When it comes to like hobbies and stuff, I feel like pregnancy did kind of put a lot of my hobbies on hold, and obviously being a mom. But I am really proud that I did have somewhat of a garden. I love having a garden. I love fresh veggies, especially tomatoes and stuff. Fresh green beans, amazing. And it was definitely tough this year, just trying to garden in the spring. I had my baby in the spring. I was quite large. It was hard to move around, but I did do it. I was out there in the garden, and I'm really proud of that. Was our harvest all that great this year? No, I was not able to can any sauces. I am already out of green beans. I usually freeze them, like blanch and freeze them. We're out of them. So that gets me really excited to think about 2026 and what we can do. Because you know what? Novi might start walking. I'm going to put her to work. Or at least have her out in the garden with me this year. I'm excited for that. It's my calm place. It's where I really feel good. And it's not just like the summer and springtime when you can actively do things. I actually really like gardening in the wintertime, and we'll talk about that. This year, I didn't get as much done with our home that I wanted to. I did paint Novi's room, so that was great. I was about 4 weeks pregnant with her. I had just found out, and so I said, you know what, before you start feeling terrible, let's paint this room. And I picked the color that you see up here because I didn't know what she was going to be, you know, boy or girl. So I figured this is a nice neutral color. Also, it looks nice. I use it all around the house, and it works with everything. It's Sea Salt by Sherwin-Williams. That's, people ask me. And then I think the one down here, it's slightly darker. I think it's like Geyser Gray or Geyser something. Love the color. But I do have some plans for 2026 that I'm really excited about, and we'll talk about that. Some work I want to do on the house that Zach may or may not know about yet. Surprise, Zach! We're going to do a whole lot of work! 2025 was a good year. Taught me a lot about being flexible. It gave me a lot of trust in my own body that I've never experienced before, and I'm really grateful for that. And I feel good heading towards 2026. It's been a long time since I felt like I've looked forward to a new year. You know, you have hopes for the new year, but it's been tough the last 6 years. I feel like my body has failed me over and over and over again, and you sort of get into a mindset like, guess my body's not going to do anything right, but it did. And having a baby is really, it's changed my outlook on things. It's given me the ability to find joy in little things. That sounds super corny, but it has, because you want to create joy, like moments of joy for your kid. There's a lot less putting stuff on the back burner, and a lot less, there's a lot less room for excuses of why not to do things. Like previous Christmases and stuff, Zach and I, there's things that we like to do, but it would come down to doing it and we'd be like, we're just too tired, or that costs too much money, or there's not enough time to do it. And now it feels like with Novi, there's less of an excuse. Like, let's go do it. Why not? Let's enjoy our time. Let's make every moment count, because this is her childhood, and that's the time to enjoy life if there's any. So it's kind of reinvigorated life for us. I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about the different subjects here that I am really planning towards for 2026. I think one of the big ones is some health goals. And I know there's this clean slate that we feel in a new year, a lot of pressure of like, oh, we got to do things perfectly. And if anything has taught me anything this past year, things do not need to be done perfectly in order to work out okay. Just because one little thing is not perfect or doesn't work out well, it doesn't mean that the rest of it's ruined. I have to really think about that a lot with, like, hear the vacuum talking. It must have died somewhere. I'll go find it. But I'm used to, you know, maybe the morning doesn't go so well and you feel like the rest of your day is ruined, and it really doesn't have to be that way. And so I've learned that about my health, obviously. This year, I do have some decent health goals, like my teeth. I've talked about them a lot the last few months because, as we have found, I am having some teeth problems. I avoided the dentist for a long time just because A, life was crazy and there were other priorities, but also I don't like the dentist. I have a lot of fear around the dentist because of previous negative past experiences. And so I am taking it day by day just because I have a lot of teeth problems and there's a bit of work that needs to be done. Like, I'm not going to be toothless tomorrow, okay? That's what we have to remind ourselves of. So, my biggest health goal this year is take care of my teeth, and that's something that's going to be taken care of probably pretty soon into 2026. We're going to get the wisdom teeth out, kick them to the road. We're going to get our root canal done. We're going to get whatever other fillings done, and we're going to get on a schedule with the dentist of cleanings. I will feel so accomplished when I get all this taken care of. I will feel so freaking good. And I bet that overall my health will improve, like sinus infection wise, and just, you know, more broad how I feel day to day. I bet I notice a difference. I also, there's a few other appointments that I need to take care of, like having a regular gynecology appointment. I haven't had that in a while. Like, I don't know when I last went, but I couldn't do it while I was pregnant. So I have to get that taken care of. And I think they did say around the new year, so I'll have to plan that appointment shortly. They're actually, other than like pelvic floor therapy, which I do want to continue, there is a bit of a finance thing there, which I'll talk about too. There's a cost. There's a cost to that. But I want to figure out a way where maybe I can go a lot less frequently. And it's almost like, I don't know why I do this. Cost is a real, it's a real problem that people have, a lot of people have. I don't know why I'm afraid to go to the pelvic floor therapist and say, hey, I can't really afford you guys. can we work out a schedule where I can come less often? Can we work out a plan where we can, I can come less often and hopefully save a little bit of cost? But I need to do, that's a realistic thing to ask. I don't know why I feel embarrassed about that, but we're going to do it. I think it's been very helpful, especially when planning towards the future of our family. So that gets into family planning. We want more kids soon. We'll lay it out there straight for you. Yeah, it's generally recommended to wait a year to try and get pregnant again. And I know I want to, I do. But I'm looking at my past of 4 years of trying for Novi, going through infertility treatments and having some struggles there, and then her just popping out on her own, 4 years later. I'm like, dude, you took a while. So there's that weird feeling of you want your body to be in the best health for it, obviously. But I felt really, really good during pregnancy, better than I do normally. But you do want to wait till the year mark. But also, what if you don't get pregnant again right away? Your mind just goes back and forth. And even, I'm tracking my cycles now, and I'm noticing the pattern of them is similar to when I was having trouble getting pregnant. My cycles did change, definitely, in the time between my ectopic pregnancy and then my successful pregnancy. My luteal phase was longer after. I tend to have a short luteal phase. So now I know I'm still breastfeeding, so that can absolutely impact that. I'm trying not to stress out too much about it, but I'm starting to think about how can I track a little bit more closely just to see what's going on. And Zach and I are thinking about when we'll start trying again. Not that I think I want to put that pressure on us of we're trying, but more just, we're not preventing. It's wild how much brain space that stuff takes up. But as a child, I'm not an only child. I have an older brother, but we grew up separately. So essentially I was an only child. I really, really want Novi to have siblings. I wanted that so badly as a kid. I really want that for her. If it does not work out that way, okay. It doesn't work out that way, and that's all right. But my dream is really to have her have siblings, and every day has been such a joy with her, watching her develop and grow, and it's so shocking to see how fast babies develop. Holy cow. It's crazy to see that. So, there's a lot of planning you can do. There's a lot of goals you can set. This is just, I don't even know why you call it family planning. It's not up to you. It's not up to you. But it's hopes. That's my hope for 2026, is that I will be telling you guys that I'm pregnant again. You hope for just the healthiest pregnancy. I hope. We've been loving the Christmas time because it's a really fun time to start traditions with Novi. It gets you thinking, really, as I was talking about before, it's easier to put the effort in to make joyful moments, whereas it's just Zach and I. It's so easy to put that stuff off and ultimately never do anything fun or just never go out and enjoy ourselves, do the activity. It's so much easier to sit on the couch and just watch some TV together. It's been really great to have that push of a daughter to do the fun things. So there's definitely some things that I would love to do for 2026. Maybe some sort of trip. Financially, going on some crazy trip just is not going to happen. But maybe a road trip down to Florida to see Gigi, because she hasn't seen Novi since birth. So I'm hoping that can be arranged. and I think a road trip would be fun. We've done it before. We drove down to Florida and then over to Texas and then back up to PA. Zach and I had a great time, and we brought 2 dogs. You know, it was a little chaotic, and I think that we rolled with it so surprisingly well. Yes, there were stressful points on this trip, but we just bent and flexed as we needed to, especially with the dogs. It's not easy to go on a road trip with dogs, but we made every moment that we could fun. I'm actually pretty proud of us. That was 2023. So if we could do something like that again with Nova, I want her to see different places and explore different things. So I want to think about that a little bit more over the next few weeks, next couple months. Let's talk a little bit about finances. I don't like to go into too much detail with this. We've had just, like, that's been a big stressor, and I really haven't talked much about it, but with our barn and stuff and how I'm going to give you the, what is it? Too long, didn't read. TLDR. Bought a beautiful commercial property with an old barn. We restored it. Was in contact with our township about our intentions of turning it into a wedding venue. They were all go, go, go. Neighbors moved in across the street, created a whole lot of problems, caused issues with the township. Then the township turned on us and ultimately did not allow us to have a wedding venue despite legal agreements with them. That is what happened. We spent so much money fixing up this barn, and now we have our hands tied with a barn that we cannot use. And so we just cannot afford any more lawyers. We spent so much on lawyer fees. You would be mind blown. We tried. We are not some big corporation. We're just a young couple. So that's kind of that's the gist of this. So our hands have been tied, and it's the last, like, since we started this, little bit before we got married in 2020. It's like that has been the biggest stressor, and really couldn't talk about it too much because we were in and out of courts and in meetings and had neighbors watching my YouTube channel and being weird, doing weird things on our property. I know. that like, I was on anxiety medication because of all that, and it just, I feel like the moment I found out about Novi, I was like, middle fingers up, I don't care. So Zach and I essentially just had to wash our hands of it unless a lawyer is able to, like, pro bono our case or do contingency fees. Like, we think we have a pretty solid case, but the willingness, you know, that is so hard to find. So that's where we're at with that. But it's financially kind of screwed us. And I know I haven't talked about that too much. I feel comfortable now because honestly it is like whatever, right? Just share it. Why not? So I'm so grateful with the work that I do. Like, I do a little bit of nursing stuff, not online necessarily or not shown on YouTube. A little bit of consulting stuff, a little bit of education stuff, but I also, YouTube is a wonderful source of income, and honestly, I can't even explain the blessing of it, just like sponsors and stuff and YouTube ads. It has allowed me to be able to work from home and therefore be a stay-at-home mom, and helped us out so much. I wish I could really go into detail of that, but it's helped us survive. So, you know, I think something that I really want to focus on is just really budgeting. Something I found so helpful in the past, and it's really hard to stick with it, is budgeting with an Excel sheet. So simple, so easy to do. I have found so much success in it because when you start to go through your purchases and you realize how much crap you buy, and especially as somebody with a chronic illness who has stuff that pops up every now and then, a new issue. I think I mentioned this back in pregnancy with the carpal tunnel. I talked about those wrist guards. Checked them out on Amazon. I was like, maybe they would significantly help me feel better with the carpal tunnel, but maybe they wouldn't. And then I'd have another piece of junk. Yeah, not super expensive, but it adds up. You hope for a little bit of relief, You spend a little bit of money, doesn't work out, you're out the $15, $20. It adds up. It really does. So that's why I want to really, my hope is to really do good with budgeting this year. And really, it's actually not so much budgeting, but more taking a look at what you're actually buying. When you write it out, it does help a lot. So that's a big finance thing for me. And for 2026, I do have some exciting things that I am doing work-wise that, oh, it's gonna be so cool. I'm doing an educational thing. I am doing some ostomy education with a company called Appletree CEU. So that's where nurses and occupational therapists can get their continuing education units. And I'm going to be teaching in a little online conference. I've worked with this person for a few years now, and they were based in Texas, so I actually got to meet them in person when we did our road trip, and he is just the loveliest. So if you are in that field, in either of those fields, and you need your CEUs, highly recommend you check them out. I'll actually put them in the description below, because we are going to do that conference. So yay! That makes me feel so good too. Like having my nursing degree and license and stuff and not really putting it to a ton of use right now. I worked so hard for it, but life just, it takes you the way it takes you. I really love education, like nursing education. And so that is just, that's going to be a really cool thing that I do this year. And of course, I'm hoping for some more projects this year, some more collaborations. I'm hoping to improve the way I do my videos. There's lots of things. And you know what I really think is important to mention? When you want to develop something or work on something and improve it, something in your life, your work, whatever, finances, you don't have to just do it January 1st. The whole year is a valid time to work on that stuff. So that is my plan. Even if I can't get everything going January 1st, hey, maybe January we start to plan the garden a little bit. February we can work on some house renovations. Sprinkle a little bit of health stuff throughout all of the year. Work on some of my nursing projects, maybe closer towards spring. It does not all have to start right now because the new year is restarting. Now let's move on to house and garden and stuff like that. I am finding more and more it's so important to have a hobby. You know what I found for a really long time is I would meet somebody new and they would say, oh, what do you do for fun? And I'm like, I really like YouTube. Like I do this a lot for fun, but also it is a bit of work. So I'd sit there and I'm like, what do I do? I like to do a lot of crafty stuff, but haven't really done a ton of that. What the heck do I do? I like to read. Don't do a lot of that. Gardening. That is what I've most consistently done over the last probably 8-9 years. Maybe even 10. We started back in college together when I moved in with Zach, and I really loved it. I remember our first garden, Zach and I didn't know what we were doing. We peeled back the grass along our fence line. I don't even think we got soil, and we just planted some tomato seeds and prayed. And we got so many tomatoes. And so I fell in love with it there. I started collecting seeds from all of the different plants that I saw. I was researching all the different plants and flowers I'd see out in the yard. Then we moved to Pennsylvania and it was like a whole new batch of plants. It's something that I've consistently enjoyed. So that's my answer is gardening, flowers, things like that. And I'm really excited because I would have started a little bit ago if I had time. But what I'm going to do January-ish is I got the Baker Creek seed catalog. I'm going to take a look through there, take a look online, see what seeds I really want to focus on. And I know one of the things I really want to do this year, I wanted to do it last year, was not successful, peppers. I want peppers. And I am realizing the way to do them is to start them extremely early. So I will be starting them in January. In a little bit bigger pot this year. That was my problem last year, plus didn't water them. I'm gonna have them in the hallway down here so I see them every day. You guys have probably seen my hallway set up with my shelving unit and lights. And we're gonna try a number of different peppers. I also want to sketch out my garden plans. The really cool thing about a garden is you can constantly add to it, rearrange things, and I sort of feel like this year we're starting with a fresh slate because of all the work we just did a few vlogs back. We tore out some fencing and a ton of weeds, and now I really want to get the area around our chicken coop cleaned up. We have people that come and mow our lawn for us for a very good price, and honestly it's so helpful with just not having enough time to do it ourselves, but also just the equipment and the effort on our part. It's worth it to us to pay for that. And so I'm hoping that they can help us maintain the area around the chicken coop, because that was the toughest part for us in the past. There's a fence right next to the chicken coop, and in between that just these awful weeds would grow. I'm hoping that they can help us with that and actually brush hog the whole area where we tore out a ton of weeds and stuff. That'll be really good. And from there, I would like to plan out, you know, vegetable areas, but also flower areas. I really want to do milkweed. I want milkweed all over our property. I love monarch butterflies. That's also something I want to do with Novi, is raise monarch butterflies in our house. We had the issue last year, not last year, I haven't done it in a couple years, but the year that I tried to help the monarchs, I realized that there was this fly that kept putting its larva into the caterpillar, and it would die before it went into its chrysalis. Like as it was trying to go into its chrysalis, the larva of this fly would come out as it was in the little J formation. And so I realized when I would find little tiny baby caterpillars out in the wild, if I took them in, they survived longer. And so this year I really do want to learn more about that and the proper ways to do it, because I was just fumbling. Like, there are proper ways to raise monarch butterflies. And try to do that, and maybe even swallowtails, because I've seen those caterpillars out there. But yeah, I think planting a lot of milkweed, and maybe some of the carrot family, like what do swallowtails? It's like Queen Anne's lace and carrots and dill, those kind of things they eat. And they could certainly use a lot more of that. We do have Queen Anne's lace growing everywhere on our property, but maybe I could help them out a little bit. So we'll be starting a lot of that stuff soon, and I will certainly share it with you. I'm excited about that. And then when it comes to our house, my goal this year, and it's probably, my hope is it's going to be early. When I feel like it's cooler out, I can work on this a little easier. I would like to redo Zach's office. His office, I think, is actually the biggest room upstairs, and we've moved our rooms back and forth before. We have situated ourselves in every room, basically. Zach's and my bedroom used to be the office because we had his cousin with us for a while who had the master bathroom and bedroom. And then we have a smaller room, which is Novi's room now, but it used to be our guest bedroom. Before that, it used to be our office where both Zach and I had desks in there. Like, we have just flip-flopped all around. So I would like to redo his office to be the office guest bedroom. We lost our guest bedroom as of recent. So that includes fixing his closet doors because they have both broken off of the hinges, so we just have them propped up. I would like to paint, and I have a ton of paint that his sister got me for cheap. It's the color Balboa Mist by, I forget what brand. And we're going to paint the room that. I'm going to put up my curtains that I have put around our house pretty much everywhere. I'm doing it room by room because it's not expensive. It's not like crazy expensive, but I think the curtain rod that we put up is around $25, and then the curtains are usually around $50 for 2 panels. There's 4 windows up there, so that's an expense. So I'm just gonna like slowly add to the room, I think. But the biggest thing that I would like to do the soonest is paint, and I really like painting. I want to do a really thorough carpet cleaning, and then after all of that's done, I want to rearrange the room. The way that we have a bed in there now, which basically the dogs lay on when Zach's working up there, it takes up a lot of space in the room, so I want to readjust that, move his desk a bit, so it can be a dual use room. And then, I hope this can happen this year. We have a hot tub room in our house. Why? I don't know. It's on the second floor. It was disconnected when we bought the house. It's the most ridiculous thing. I would like to get rid of the hot tub. The only way to do that is to cut this hot tub into pieces. I think the addition on our house was built around the hot tub. I think we're gonna have to cut the dang thing up and get rid of it. And do some work on that room. This big hot tub takes up a majority of the room. It's off of our bedroom. Even just clearing up space for maybe myself to have a filming area, maybe that could be a future nursery right off of our bedroom. That would be amazing. Our hopes ultimately are for that to become a really nice bathroom, but I think just financially that's not going to happen anytime soon. That's a lot of expense. We would like to do a lot of the work ourselves, but we have to be realistic. But just to even have that space cleared out to be used for something, that would be amazing. But I think the office comes first, to have the guest bedroom, because we do have people come over a lot and stay here. That would be the most helpful. And for Zach to have a really, clean space to do his work. I think that would be nice. So, lots of 2026 plans. I know for a fact that this video is going to be long because I had to restart my camera. Why Canon's only film for like 27 minutes, I don't know, but whatever. So, I hope that those watching can look at 2026 with positivity. Even if there are a lot of negative things that happen in 2026, we do not need to lose the whole year and look at it as a bad thing. I know that coming from someone who had a really good 2025. There have been many hard things that happened this year, a lot of mental and physical struggles, but we had a huge blessing. So that really makes me look on it with a lot of positivity. But thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your plans and your hopes for 2026. Maybe even just how you're going to work on your outlook of things. That's probably the biggest thing that you can do. I'd love to hear about that in the comments below. And thank you so much to Element for sponsoring this video. I'm almost done this. I've been sipping on it throughout the whole video. So thank you to Element for sponsoring. Make sure to check them out at drinkelement.com/LetsTalkIBD, and then you can get that free sample pack if you decide to make an order. All right, guys, here's to 2026. Happy New Year. It'll be there in just a couple days. Oh my gosh. I will see you in the new year. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at LetsTalkIBD.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.